Y'all buckle y'all seatbelt, because we're going to give it to y'all in the raw. We got a little bit of something for everybody. So, without any further ado, y'all, we're going to get to it.
All right. Thank you.
Call this a letter from another world to those in my heart. How do I put on paper what I want a special someone to know? I'll never be the same. I can't show weakness because showing weakness in here, in my world, is to invite hurt. I have been stripped of my identity and self-respect, changed every day by being treated like an idiot child. I'm basically living in a fishbowl where I can't even go to the toilet without an audience. Strip searches have left wounds to dignity and pride, leaving ugly emotional scars. Try to understand the terrifying chill of walking by a guy's cell and seeing clots and puddles of blood from slashed wrists. Slashed because he couldn't take it anymore. And watching other people become human vegetables from heavy doses of antidepressants. Daily, I'm forced to turn off my emotions to dry up any feelings or lose my mind. Sooner or later, the question is asked, what is prison really like? I've spent almost 28 straight years wishing I didn't know. The simplest answer is, you had to have been there. But that won't do because the question will probably come from somebody who deserves a better answer. But the problem with any answer is that things people most know about prisons come from TVs, movies, and other things out there that they don't realize is not going on in here. It's easier to describe what prison isn't. It isn't a country club. It isn't a dungeon, a cave, or a torture chamber. And that leads to my favorite inaccuracy. Prison is what you make of it. That may be true, but regardless, you can't make it into a vacation. Another inaccuracy in prison is a learning experience. So is a heart attack. There is one thing that describes prison, an all-encompassing truth. Regardless of how you got here, how long you stay, or what prison you're in, prison is lonely. So what is prison really like? Prison is going to bed at night wondering if anyone is missing you. It is missing your loved one so much that you harden your heart just to survive. Prison is hearing a special song that takes you back to the last time your special someone said, I love you. I would rather not be ambushed by such memories. Any anger, terror, depravity, or humiliation that may be connected with prison, I'll take a back seat to the isolation and loneliness. It being one number among many goes against the human grain. Granted, the food can be horrible at times, and meeting someone who'd rather spit on you than smile can be discouraging. But most everything can be handled except the loneliness. I'm not saying that the popular concepts of prison are inflated or totally wrong. I mean to say that they are secondary to the specter of isolation and loneliness, which is inconceivable. Earlier this year, I lost a very, very dear friend of mine that I had known for 49 years. And my rest of my prison time is going to be much lonelier without her in my life. But you have to have been there.
Don't worry, Gorden. The truck up on all the suckers you leave behind. And your loneliness necessity no more when you find that one.
Judge, this is a letter to my daughter, whom I haven't seen in over 5 years. It goes like this. Isabella, right now you were young, just 8 years old, and I know the world has been cold, unfair, and confusing. First, losing your father at the age of 3 to a system that's corrupt and don't give a fuck indeed. Now what I mean is, I have been wrongfully convicted for a crime that I did not commit. Lies were told and stories was twisted and evidence overlooked like they just missed it. The end result was 15 years convicted. It's been 5 years since I've last seen you, since I've last held you and looked into your beautiful eyes. Phone conversations are all we have, and I hate goodbyes, especially with the sudden demise of your beloved mother. But I want you to know that she loved you. She loved you like no other. And her sacrifices would not go in vain. We'll keep her memory alive and her spirit will fly forever, watching over you like an eagle in the sky. But the truth is, and the bitter truth it is, life goes on and I need you strong. Strong enough to survive and not just get by, but to succeed and avoid becoming a victim of these harsh streets. You see, I need to prepare you for the future, just in case I'm not there to protect you. So I need you to pay attention and listen to the guidance that I'm about to give you. First things first is self-preservation. Love and respect yourself, put nothing above you. Never forget you were my princess, soon to become a queen. And I want you to have confidence in yourself, confidence enough to chase your dreams and never give up, because reality ain't always what it seems. The world is a tricky place, but you have the heart of a lioness, and there ain't nothing that you can't face. And at times it may seem that you're out of place and maybe even alone. But I promise you, I got you till I'm dead and gone. And even though I'm gone right now, one day I will return. But until then, my heart will yearn. It will yearn for your touch and yearn for your embrace. My beautiful Isabella, I can't wait to see your face. But right now, you and I need to be strong. And what I need for you to do is focus on learning to stay in school. Your education will be key in your development and understanding your environment. You're going to have to learn how to navigate, network, and communicate efficiently and effectively. And I know that that may sound like a lot, but as you get older, you'll understand that I want you smart, strong, and independent of a man. I hope you take heed to what I'm telling you and know in your little heart that I would never stop loving you. Love always, your father. P.S. Keep this letter as a reference, because sometimes we have to learn how to deal with acceptance. I'll be home as soon as I can, but until then, stay strong. And in my arms is where you belong. I love you, and I miss you. Your dad.
Flash.
Hey,
Flash. Yeah, like I was saying, I got this letter prepared for my baby mother. You know, something like this. Dear baby mama, I would just like to explain that ever since we met, I just ain't been the same. I could never imagine how much my life would change. In so many ways, I could only understate. So it's important I take my time and get my words straight and say everything to you that I've been meaning to say. Kiss my ass. I said what I said, and I do mean that. For all the time you heard my C's speaking bad on their dad, willing to watch them suffer, trying to pay me back, mad that you my past, and what we had didn't last. You a poor excuse, and the path you choosing to use is sad. But as a man, I'll be damned if they play pawn in your plan. So you can't understand why this is no love letter. You drug my name through the mud and drug me into the courts. Told lies to your folks to justify your approach. Spend up all the child support, then complain you broke. Then tell the kids that it's my fault you done came up short. You miserable and vindictive because you immature. And insecure because after all that, you still on the floor. So I reiterate the statement that I made before and assure you, this is no love letter. The therapist said it was best to get this all off my chest and express my feelings about anything that's causing me stress. And that's you. But I wish that it wasn't like this. And it ain't even about me. It's for the sake of them kids. Why can't we be cordial and find a way to co-parent? But as a parent, you can care less about what's best, I'm guessing. How did we get here? I assume broken hearts men. But I can't pretend that I didn't put you through some shit back then. So if I deserve it, I guess it is what it is. but how we carrying on is wrong, as far as it concerns them. Hell no fury like a woman scorned. It ain't a true statement. But I don't want no smoke because you done proved you ain't nothing to play with. I just want to be a father to my kids. So we need to get it together because we both got to figure out how we can do better. I don't expect you to be apologetic. Don't expect me to be no different than you. Because this ain't got to be no love letter. But can it at least be a truce? Damn. Your baby daddy. Sincere.
This is called a letter to Corey. Dear Corey, I would have said father, but that's something you never were. Keeping it real, I could never understand the kind of man that would leave his son behind to wonder, how does a father's hug feel? From the time I was a runt, you never hugged me once. Nevertheless, Corey, I consider your absence a blessing. Mom's was a better father than you could have ever been. Raised 3 boys, me being the youngest, she carried that load like it was heaven sent. So, when Father's Day roll around, just know, you ain't never relevant. Had you been around, you would have known that there were times I cried myself to sleep, confused with questions only God knew the answers to. See, as a youth, I questioned if I was worthy of love because I've been abused, misused, and molested, all by people who claim to love me, yet I never felt protected. Damn, Corey, where were you? Though I was one of the coldest ballers at Hopkins Elementary, you never showed your face at a game, so I'm pretty sure you never mentioned me. To that other family that you were building in Minnesota, how did they feel when I was on the news and the judge sentenced me to over a quarter century? The first nights in that cell nearly ate me alive. Those steel pillars were needed because they muffled my cries. I was too afraid to hit my knees and talk to the man in the skies because God would take one look in my eyes and know that I had no faith in him. Somewhere I'd been told that the eyes were the window through which you view one's soul. That meant he'd take one look at me and know that my heart was filled with cold, that your desertion had made me cold. In reality, I was nothing more than this 17-year-old lad who craved his dad. Man, Corey, Moms said I was bad, but it was your actions that got me asking if that premonition was the reason you was missing from all my childhood pictures. When social workers wanted answers for my anger, I built walls and said I had no father at home, too embarrassed to the truth to confess that my papa was a rolling stone. My abandonment issues gave me fears of being alone. It was the reason I hit the block and packed that chrome because I thought that'd make me a man. And when beef was on, I put sticks to domes when all I really ever wanted was to have my dad at home. They say time heals all wounds, Corey, even the ones that's filled with strife. It's unfortunate you'll never meet my wife, Natasha. She helped me see that my past may be dark, but that my future is bright. Every kiss, hug, and encouraging word after your passing confirmed that I'll be all right. I did everything in my power to deny your existence, but the hate you caused in me all evaporated when I got your letter. It was your chicken scratch encouraging me to do better. That turned the tide. I realized then that you were nothing more than a mere mortal with flaws and issues of your own, like how you never made it past the 8th grade, or how talking, sharing, or communicating in any form with some of your generation just didn't do. So I wonder, if your pops ever hugged you, if he looked you in your eyes, cradled your head, and told you he loved you, or did you just continue to cycle? There was only so much of you to go around, right? However, in those loose pages, you said things I had been waiting ages to hear, like how you kept my 2nd grade spelling bee trophy, my 5th grade b-ball champ jersey. Despite everything I've ever done, you always loved me. So that night, I cried for a different reason. My eyes were pregnant with tears of joy. Now, you got me wishing that things had been different. If only we could have started the way we finished. Everything I just said would have been diminished. After all of the hate, lies, and broken promises, you were supposed to be here to finally see your prince become a king. Now that you up there, tell Maya Angelou, I finally understand why the caged bird sings. And though this letter will never be sent, I take back all the bad I ever said because you're more than Corey to me. You're my dad. And I love you too. Your son. Y'all cool.
Hi, my name is Mario.
Mario.
This line was written to my wife, but because this institution have sent the mail open, I prefer not to send it. I prefer to read it to you today. He say, my dear wife, I hope this letter have helped to change your day and make a smile appear in your face as is the picture in my mind. My dear love, I know it is difficult what is happening to us. I know we have fallen into a deep hole of doubtful, depressions, and insecurity. I know in our minds cross many thoughts, causing us to think that all is ending. I want you to know that isn't the case. Even if I am not present, you don't hear my voice or feeling my hands holding yours. The whisper of I love you should be in your thought, like it is in mine, like it is in my heart. I wish it for you day after day. My dear love, I want you to know that nothing have ended. Life had to continue. First, for our children. Second, for our love that we owe and we build. It is on firm foundation. We did so in the presence of God. True, we are in trouble with anger and sadness. We are defeated, but not destroyed, because God is with us all the time, no doubt. Please, after you read this letter, pray and lay down to sleep. Rest and wake up in a new day, refreshed to pray to the Lord again. First for our children, then for you and me, just the way I do for you and our children, who are the sprout of our love. Also for those that, like us, are living tribulation. We have to be strong and fight against the adversity we are in. I don't want to justify my mistake with this letter, nor my responsibility. But I want to emphasize that my intention to fight for a change in our life are pure. I want you to know that we are together now in these bad times, just like we were in the good times. Maybe they weren't many good times, but they were the best in my life. From them, our children were born. The most important is not to find the problem, but to find the root of the problems, so that way we will never be surprised again. A coward is one who does not fight for his ideas. I know you and I are no cowards. Let's pray every day to God for the ones that still believe in us. Remember, God never forget us. Kisses for you and my children from the one who love you ever forever.
Does anyone else have any tear-jerking, heart-tugging, second little letters that they want to show us today? Come on now, don't be bashful.
What the hell y'all looking at me for?
It's your turn.
Come on.
You got somebody y'all want to write, say nothing to? Guess I could say a little something. My name is Tony.
Hey,
That's
Tony.
Tony.
To whom this may concern, I did not do this bullshit ass assignment. I don't know why my ass is here. But I do expect to pick up my certificate after the end of this therapy session.
Nice.
Sincerely.
Letter to my mother. Dear Mama, I picked up this pen because there are so many things that I needed to get off my chest. You see, after you passed, my life became a mess. Women, drugs, and violence. But nothing that no one could fill that void that you left. Young and impressionable, confused and stressed because I was only 17, carrying a load that no child should have to bear. I remember when Junior told me, cuz, you gotta be a man now. Yeah, I heard him back then, but I really understand it now, cuz lately I've been wishing that I had the power to turn back the hands of time, cuz there are so many things that I would do different. Like for starters, I'll take back all those I hate yous and I wish you would die, cause mama, I promise you I didn't mean them. I wish that this moment was only a nightmare that I was dreaming, just to wake up to run into your room and hug and kiss you and tell you all that you mean to me. Cause everything that seemed so important back then, now, doesn't mean a thing to me. Mom, I really should put down this pen, cause I can't see when I rain through my tears, plus this letter's getting all wet. Even if it's one that I could never send. But I've been holding all this inside of me for 22 years, and for 22 years my anger has been robbing me of the purposeful lifestyle that I know you would have wanted me to live. But Mom, I'm tired. I'm so tired that sometimes I don't even want to live. Sometimes I wish that all those he won't make it unless he changes ways came to pass, and I know that is selfish of me, but Mom, for real, some gotta give. Cause I'm 40 years old now and on my 4th bid. And if it wasn't for Deshaun and Sherry, then I would have none to show for the life that I had to live. However, I have come to understand that there is a silver lining to that dark cloud that's been hanging over me for years. I've come to terms with my imperfections, so I'm persistent in my pursuit of happiness. First, holding myself accountable, picking up the mindset of a man and setting aside all them childish ways. Removing the blinders of blame and sliding on the frames that give me an intellectual perspective. So the things that I perceive not only enlightens me, but also clarifies my state of being. So yeah, Mom, I finally understand that. I guess it's safe to say that your baby boy done became a man. Now with that being said, I guess I end this letter right here. But before I do, I just want to tell you that I always have, like I always will, love and appreciate you. And damn, Mom, I miss you. Love always, your son, Rodney.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Both of you mentioned the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm a 70-year-old white man born and raised in Milwaukee. Okay. And I got some questions about what's going on in the black community there. Oh,
Okay, what you got?
Well, just to let you know, I am from Milwaukee. Most of my life was being raised on 31st between Bleak and McKinney. So I do know what's going on in the city. Of course, that was 55 years ago when I was 15. Over the past several years, Black Lives Matter, the movement rose. And I understand that. When a white person kills a black man, protest, that's fine. Because when an innocent person is killed, that's all well and good. I understand. That's not all well and good. I'm sorry. You shoot me now before I walk away and somebody attacks me. It's not good when a white man kills a black person. Innocent people dying is not right.
Right.
So please help me understand. In the first 40 days of this year, 35 people in Milwaukee were killed.
Yeah, I saw that.
Most were black, and most were killed by black people. So please help me understand. Blacks sell drugs to other blacks, killing their independent way to live a free and productive life. Blacks pimp out other blacks, killing their dignity and self-worth. So please help me understand. Now, I can understand when you protest when a white cop shoots a black man. I can understand that. I can understand when a white man shoots up a black church. I can understand when you protest. But please help me understand. Why don't you protest when a black man kills his black neighbor? Or when a black man shoots his gang rival? Or why don't you protest when a black person sells your family drugs, killing their way of life to win independent and productive life? And why don't you protest when a black man pimps out your mothers, your sisters, your daughters, maybe even your wives, or your even sons? The question is, some Black Lives Matter don't matter? Okay? Now, when a white man shoots a black man, protest. But also protest when a black man shoots a black man. Or carry that further. When anybody kills an innocent person, protest. Am I wrong? If so, please help me understand.
Get him.
this.
You know what? It's obvious to me that you don't understand what we stand under.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you a first-hand account of what it's like growing up in the gutter.
Okay.
See, feel like there's no room to elude the impending doom. This shit seems like it surrounds us however we move. It's confusing, because even when we win, we lose. You gonna catch a case, or catch the bullet, or catch 22. It's ironic, right? But I guess them just the breaks. See, navigating that landscape, the mistakes is high stakes. And every day, we face to face with unfavorable fate. Where you gonna take or get took off on just how it's played. Do or die, either get ate. That's why our minds stay contribute to the crime rate. Survival instincts considered criminal mandates. Consequences for the decisions we make is second thought. First thought, if I'ma be straight. A crapshoot, hoping it all play out my way. But if it don't, you might want to stay out my way. Because it's scary. The penitentiary or the cemetery run in my family. The shit must be hereditary. Regrettable is inevitable, but the chances is hella low I can continue going down this road. And I know, but where the hell is it for us to go? We redline and confined to ghettos, dealing with pre- and post-traumatic stress syndrome. Disenfranchised, but that don't mean you ain't got to get yours. Predictable how this movie, you ain't seen it before. Turn on the TV, watch the news, hear the report about another poor unfortunate soul that the ghetto took a hold of and never let go about the whole. Now what else you need to know?
Me, there's no need to gasp because what you grasp is only partial reality. White people do unto white people too, the same types of crimes in duality. For example, Maxwell put Jufrey up for sale after grooming her to pleasure Epstein. Then trafficked her overseas to a prince. Andrew just paid Jufrey recompense for having sex with her when she was a teen. The hues are many, the crimes are plenty, for all others who dwell in between. Tragedies exist while death looms in the midst, whether peasant, king, or queen. But here, in our democracy, there is a hypocrisy about those who protect and serve. Whatever the problem, when black people call them, they show up to kill, pillage, and swerve.
That part.
I didn't say that. Little Tamir Rice was killed outright for just playing alone with a toy gun. But Dylan Roof was arrested in McDonald's for killing an elderly group of black people with a real one. Bystanders like yourself watch and wonder such that privileged cataracts peer into blackness through goggles tinted with affluenza, emitted from a white, powerful integrity, and perceive nothing that matters to them. So the Black Lives Matter movement emerged to show forth their presence, to manifest their presence, to manifest our presence.
Right.
Under the First Amendment to the Constitution, just like the Klan has been doing for years with their rallies.
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter movement does not police the black community. Your line of questioning got me to thinking.
Lately, I've been thinking a lot. We screaming Black Lives Matter, yet the killing don't stop. Let the police kill a brother, we protest not stop. But let a brother kill another and you can hear a pin drop. Damn. Breaking through the silence as his mother's cry. Lord, now my baby got he then deserted to die. Pictures on the t-shirt and tears by the candlelight. His brother last promise to him somebody's gonna die tonight. Come on, my people, it's time to wake up, time to fight again. The black life matter, no matter who the killer is. Damn, yeah, lately I've been thinking a lot. Damn, lately I've been thinking a lot. Man, lately I've been thinking a lot. Damn, lately I've been thinking a lot.
Hold on, pardon me, brothers.
What's up?
I know we having a poignant moment about Black Lives Matter moving off. Excuse me, audience. Let me say something that y'all can't say. RCI weak as hell. They cancel our rec every other day. We won't get our property on time. Ain't no pictures on the visits. Health service will let you die. And don't even get me started on the staff. It's the worst joint I've ever been to in my life.
Say, man, hold on, my guy. I'm just trying to make sure that I heard you right. Did I just hear you categorize what prison you would rather reside? You do realize that you epitomize the very definition of what it means to be institutionalized?
Yes, though. But you the one dipping into my convo. He's dropping from a distance like a stray weirdo. Wait, wasn't it the other day I caught you ironing your state clothes?
Hold on, little bro. I think you taking this whole thing personal. in, but just to let you know, ain't no such thing as a joint that's preferable. Because every joint I've ever been to was utterly horrible. You understand?
I'm just saying, we
I'm
got
just
one
saying,
more time, bro.
Whoa, man, hold up, man. Both of y'all tripping. Now, y'all both are making a point that should not go unheard. Institutionalized from the perspective that you both are presenting exist in the same context, but can also be contrast, mentally and or physically, due to place and or placement for a certain period of time, will cause one to adjust, just to survive. Now, institutionalized by definition is to be confined or placed in the institution, which could be a school or a prison. You could be a student, inmate, PIOP, or correctional official, mentally adjusting to the job, or just like the majority of us, just doing time. We become accustomed to the routine of place and time. But y'all really want to keep this shit hot? These police, they ones acting like they stuck here, and they can leave at any given time. And to me, that there is the real definition. Shit of being institutionalized.
You know what though? When you put it in that frame, the bigger picture is fitting. And I guess in one way or another then, we are statistics.
You know that.
Whether you an inmate or an officer,
Yeah.
the warden
What?
or the governor,
Preach.
a congressman or the president,
Church.
one thing is for certain.
What's that?
America have a dependency on institutions.
Well, yeah.
I mean, a dope fiend kind of nose running, lip twitching,
Yeah.
stomach aching,
Yeah.
arms
Let's
itching.
go.
I gotta have it this minute.
What you gotta do?
Demand for a fix.
Preach.
If I could just get it, all my problems would be
What?
non-existent
What's gonna happen?
or irrelevant.
What's gonna happen?
Kind of Jones.
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm out of control. I'll sell anything, including my soul. Pookie, it be calling me, and I just gotta go. Type of hype.
Well, hush.
That's when you know you institutionalized.
Yeah.
When the dependency such a necessity that without it, you probably just couldn't even survive.
Man, say that.
Okay, let me just do a quick recap.
What's that?
I see both sides now.
Okay.
We've all been in the med line getting our daily doses.
Yeah.
We the ones with the wrong diagnosis.
Say that.
They under the Institutionalized Act.
Yeah.
We just trying to get back
Man.
to our lives. I think I finally realized what it means to be institutionalized. Know what I mean, Mario?
That's what's up.
No, I still don't get what they mean.